Fnatic match, that best of 5, but we didn't get it because, well, Fnatic weren't in this tournament, and then Envy weren't in this tournament. And then, you see, so it makes it more interesting for me as well. You know, once the players actually start to pick and choose a little bit, it's gonna be nothing but good, I think, because then we'll have these matchups to really crave and look forward to.
Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We are going live. It is going to be Virtus.pro versus TSM. I believe we are straight into the pistol round. They're not going to redo the knife. I tell a lie because I see Neo tasing Pasha, so probably not the same. They are going to go for a restart. That's just annoying. It's just annoying. When you get yourself set up like that and then they just go and throw it out there. So, let's try that again, shall we? Are they going to go for a knife?
Round two?
Yeah, are they going to go for a re-knife? No, they're not.
No.
I'm seeing CZ's coming in there.
That's
so
when they start standing up.
So interestingly, immediately straight away, I can see, look, 4 armors straight in there. Smoke's coming out for Xyp9x, but Snack's gone with the CZ. Everybody else sticking pretty standard, but 3 armors also for VP.
Yeah, but the double flash on Neo, so it's going to be like that. They're going to be able to either flash peek or just flash the push once they know it's coming in. We have Xyp9x having used already one of his flashes, but he's still sitting on a flash smoke. But TSM, look at how slowly they've actually played this out. They played very carefully because they also know that VP have a tendency to be aggressive as well. VP like to start establishing dominance on the map early on. So already TSM making that adjustment, saying, okay, hold on, if they're going to push us, we're going to hang back a little bit, wait for them, and see where that goes.
Snack's holding steady. Cajun B is just around the corner. I think Pasha just caught a glimpse, yes he did, of Karrigan, who was pushing straight down long A. He's got Cadian in support with him. We'll see how his first entry works out. Will he manage to get the first frag? Snaxo is going to find one. Don't forget there was Cajun B pushing up behind him. There he is. Gets the first frag on the board of ESL Pro League. And now Karrigan going to take that peek around there. Pasha's going to peek first, so will not get the frag down. Gets flashed down, taken straight down by Pasha.
Yeah, and there's that Neo flash coming in, but then dupreeh comes in with a headshot of his own, takes out Pasha in a bit of a precarious position there. Once you start pushing long there, Pasha, you have to watch your flank. But TSM now, they decide to back off with 20 seconds. 20 seconds. They've run the clock down so well here, Virtus.pro. There's so little time for TSM. If Taz can rotate down and get in position, they need to figure this out now. They think that it's still going to be A. They're thinking there's not enough time for them to go to the B site. Surprise, surprise, TSM are actually going to manage it.
They're going to get straight down there. You can see Xyp9x very low, but it doesn't matter. The damage is done. Neo's been taken down. Bialy has to hop in towards Pit. Will manage to get close, but TSM, they've got the plant down. They've got control. They're in a 3-on-2. The advantage is with them. dupreeh, he's going to have Taz peeking around the corner right now, but he's just delaying. This is all a delay tactic, but it doesn't matter when dupreeh lands 2 headshots and picks up the first T round.
Yeah, really nicely done there by dupreeh, playing the angle, trying to turn it into a series of duels. He didn't know where the second man was, but once he spotted him out, it was all about playing that angle, closing it off, and making sure that he's just playing for time. He doesn't want to get hit. But when he commits, there you go. That's what dupreeh's capable of. And there we go as well. The big question that we're all wondering, are we going to see TSM take that step and go for SMGs? We've got 4 of them right now on their T side, and it's the MP7 as well. This gun is so strong right now. It's like up to 40 yards, double headshot kills anything. It's ludicrous how much damage this SMG does. So I'm not surprised at all to see TSM just going straight for the MP7 here.
Aggressive placement from Pasha there. Went straight up long A with that scout, trying to see if he can get anything, but TSM didn't go for that position instead. It's going to be Snax in restrooms. He's got 3 around him. Smoke down. They are just going through connector right now. Ooh, Cajun B nerves there as he tags up one of his own, but it doesn't matter. They've managed to get themselves 2 openers, and it's going to be another B site plant for TSM as they make their way in towards the site. Bomb is slowly moving. They're very delicate about this one, and Virtus.pro looks like they're going to go for the saves here. Pasha's already backing off.
Yeah, this is the right call to make here for Pasha and Virtus.pro. I mean, Snax has also got a pretty decent amount of gear on him, so hold on to it, see if you can't get some exits. Just avoid feeding the SMGs, because 2 of those kills have already been picked up by the UMP and the MP7. That's us, bonus $600 right there in your pocket. So, man, that's the real issue now that we're going to have if TSM really do make this a staple, and if other teams start going for it as well. It's going to be so difficult now to keep these teams from ecoing. They're always going to have money. If they can get a couple of frags per round with an SMG, they're always going to have money to drop guns. But now we have to see Snax hiding in the angle here way back in T-spawn. But TSM not crossing that line, so this actually might work out. Although dupreeh is going to peek forward. He's going to take that fight. Is he going to win it, though? Snax just barely makes it out of there in time.
That long reload time as well. You can see, I think he was down to about 5% health there, so he just about survived. But going back to that team hit, TSM, a little bit at odds there. Cajun B taking shots at Karrigan. They wasn't quite aware that they were making that move down connector.
Yeah, and this is something you have to keep in mind as well with TSM. The way that they go about on their T side is you guys kind of just spread out across the map and see if you can get picks. It's a very simple, straightforward style of calling coming out from Kerrigan, at least at the beginning. So that can lead to those situations where, wait, is my mate and connector? I don't know exactly. I got to check the minimap. Oh, wait, you know. But when you're wired this tight, sometimes accidents happen. Luckily, you know, team damage minimized a little bit. You know, you didn't do too much damage to Cajun, but there you go.
Debris just waiting for someone to peer out of that smoke. If only you knew there was two stood in that smoke a moment ago, we could have easily mowed them down with that SMG. But as it is, TSM on the move. Bomb going up long A. It's in the hands of Cadian. Kerrigan running armed guard for him as Debris keeps an eye on connector. Snacks just around the corner. Remember, still only a couple of pistols for Virtus.pro. Neo gets gunned down. Debris going to find himself Snacks as soon as he comes around this corner. Or is he? As Snacks manages to get Debris down, that's going to be an SMG rescued. Now what can he do with it?
And such a dangerous position, but also such a big mistake coming out there. Why is Debris down there alone? I mean, no possibility of a refrag. He just gives a gun away. So now Taz has the MAC-10. Snacks is like, I've got the CZ. That's all I need. Go ahead, take this MAC-10 and see if you can do any more damage.
See how it works out. Cajun B flashing out. It's going to be the A site they're moving towards. And now there was a rotation from Virtus.pro. They'd already gone to B, so they've been sold a fake. They thought it was going to be B again, but TSM do get the bomb plant down. Cadian defending it well as Taz gets taken out. It's just Snacks and Bialy left. They're going to try for it. Snacks with that scout, trying to get some pot shots off. Cadian's going to press his position, tries to run away, drops straight down towards him, misses his shot, doesn't manage to land him. Snacks will go down to Kerrigan in the end though, and it's a 3-0 start and a pretty clean round for TSM once again. But that's the score we'd expect. Here we go, Virtus.pro with the rifles.
I'm loving Cadian going for a bit of the 360 MLG plays there. You're trying to style Cadian, I know, you got to prove yourself, but you know, small baby steps, man. Just get the crosshair on him. Yeah, get the crosshair on him first. But yeah, this is going to be the big round. As you guys can see, VP have upgraded to the rifles, but they're so very light on nades. I almost would like to see more FAMASas out of them just to get some more nades to work with here, because look at this. They have 2 smokes now, and it's the beginning of the round.
Well, Snacks flashed out. Did, I think, catch a glimpse of one pushing him. Snacks went very aggressive. Tried to get him up towards that playground, but instead just going to back away. Looking towards the minimap, you can see Kerrigan with the bomb. All alone, actually. He does have Cajun B and Dupree joining him as they move up towards the A site through restrooms.
This is actually a fairly decent position now. If Pasha peeks out, there you go. That's the risk, and he just goes running right past. That's the wonky position there when you try to hold long. Snacks at least is going to be able to come back, and Snacks with a double kill, stepping up his play. Neo is also there. That crossfire still so powerful for that CT hold on A. And Snacks and Neo, they're masters at it. They will shut you down there.
Something they were talking about, of course, on the analyst desk is the fact that if Snacks gets going, generally Virtus.pro pick up wins, and that's exactly what they need right now as he gets himself a 4th for the round. And Snacks single-handedly defending that A site in style.
Yeah, monster play from Snacks, and there you go. You know, if Snacks can step up his game, he's already at 6-0-2 right now. We saw a little bit of a bumpy start for him, of course, in the pistol, right, with the CZ, where he kind of sprayed around, and you're like, okay, Snacks, you know, calm down. But there you go. Clearly, in the round where it counted, where it mattered most, he steps up and gets those kills for his team. Now we have to see more of that from him, and we may very well, because he's going for an aggressive push up the top mid. It eats that nade right to the face, down to 67 HP to begin with here. So that's the guy you want to do some preliminary damage to.
Kerrigan might well get around the back of him here. Snacks, though, just ducks himself down. Dupree and Cadian, along with Cajun B, all taking steps towards the B side, but Snacks is about to get around the backside of Kerrigan. That's going to be an easy one. Took a couple of shots. Should have been a pretty simple thing, but that's simply a case of settling the nerves as Bialy takes down Cajun B. And Taz, well, suddenly TSM are starting to drop down as Snacks comes around the backside, gets himself another on Dupree, and now Zipnix with just 2 health will get taken down. And suddenly Virtus.pro find themselves another easy round there against TSM. Starting to settle their stride a little bit.
And we should see some kind of investment going into pistols this round, but it is going to be an eco. Yeah, Snacks is just jumping straight up there in the kills. And that, you know, that did look a little shaky there on Kerrigan, but then he managed to lock down Sewer fairly effectively there, and that's what needs to be happening here. Also, Bialy showing that his aim is dialed in, and that's the 1-2 punch combo for Virtus.pro. If Snacks and Bialy are both hitting shots, that's when they're one of the most powerful teams in the world. So this is a good sign so far for all the Virtus.pro fans tuning in. Your team is looking like it's in pretty good shape, and they should be able to build that economy now in this round, because we really don't see like the Tech 9s or anything coming out here. Really like that nade there by Pasha as well.
Nobody saw it. It's all right. He landed the 2 shots before it. That's the ones that counted. There we go.
Got my seal of approval.
It is just pistols, of course, for TSM. So this is pretty much straightforward gunning for the likes of Taz, as they will pick themselves up their 3rd round. So quick save for TSM there. So necessary, but Virtus.pro read it like a book, and Pasha was very much aggressive with Snacks in support as well. So you can see Snacks. It's a scary thing. He started hitting double digits already just 6 rounds in.
And now we get to see what we have in store for us here from TSM now that they have rifles again. So it's not this weird half-buy. It is a little light on nades, but now we get to see exactly where they're going to go. And they're going for some kind of default setup here, although Sipmix could be setting up for a flash in to allow dupreeh to get into sewer. And there you go. He spots out Taz. So dupreeh getting a little bit of info there, spots out the 1-man. That's not telling him too much, but then him stepping up onto short and taking Taz out, he's 1 step ahead of Taz there. That's a big play by dupreeh.
Yeah, now he's going to get support. KGB and Xyp9x moving in. dupreeh just hopping and around. He's drawn the attentions of Virtus.pro. Question is, has he drawn many away? Neo, realizing that dupreeh was still around there, trying to get a couple of lucky shots through the smoke, didn't quite work out for him. But KGB and Carrigan making their way through restrooms, and it has drawn their attention. Pasha, the only man left on A, even he's rotated. They've completely rotated away from A site now.
They're not faking it. Xyp9x throwing that nade might have been the tell that Virtus.pro were looking for. They knew that, okay, wait, there's more than dupreeh, there's more than one guy over here. You know, are TSM going to be very subtle with how they approach their T side right now? I think not. But Snacks is rotating back up here. This is a good diversion coming in. But Katie and Carrigan, they're picking up the kills. A site is just a brawl everywhere on this map, and everything has gone TSM's way. This is a perfect round nearly until Snacks steps in and takes out Carrigan, but the damage is done. Snacks can't possibly retake B side alone.
Well, he is the last man standing. The flash will try and draw their attention, but he is going to go for the save. He's going to see if he can get any exits. And he may actually find KGB as he pulls back there. He just wants to go slow. So it's going to be 4-3 for TSM. That's the more important factor, no matter how this works out for Snacks. He tries to get anyone passing through connector, but that's not going to work out. He's just going to be simply safe.
Gotta say, that was really well played, though, by Carrigan, managing to draw the attention back up to the A site, despite VP being spot on with their call. They knew, okay, B site, this is where it's going to happen, but Carrigan hits at just the right time. And they managed to inflict some damage there and slow things up. And once VP get confused in that situation, TSM, we're talking about the star fraggers on this team, you know, they're not going to miss an opportunity to land the headshot like that. So Snacks will be able to live out throughout that round, so he's going to be able to hold on to a little bit of money here, which is important. But all of that bank that Virtus.pro have just spent 3 rounds building up, working towards, it's gone. But I guess it's all right if you're going to go ahead and invest in 2 sniper rifles.
Yeah, Pasha and Neo, double AWPing. We'll see how this works out. Of course, it was a questionable change that a lot of the players were somewhat disgruntled with, but hell, changes happen, and players have to live with it and get used to it. And well, we saw last week, it's not the end of the world. Quick scoping is where it's all about, and we'll see how it works out for Pasha and Neo now, as they do try and get them couple of peaks. They need to get the early ones, and KGB once again opening things up as Taz goes down. This is all going TSM's way. Snacks once again trying to hold true, but he's the last man standing. He's rescued himself an AWP, but he's in a precarious position to try and save this one.
Yeah, what is he going to be able to do here? 1v3, the bomb is making its way towards the B site. dupreeh's already cleared that out, and he's in position to stop a rotation coming in from A site. Xyp9x is also watching towards connector, rather, so there aren't a lot of options here for Snacks. He's just hoping to get lucky and catch somebody off guard with this AWP, perhaps, but it's not really going to go there. And, okay, so maybe a pause coming in here during the freeze time, so it will actually give a little bit of time here to Virtus.pro to talk things over. But VP are in such an awkward position now because they've just spent everything on this round. They took a big risk and went ultra aggressive. And this is like some old style VP as well, because Pasha used to do that all the time, pushing up long, sitting there trying to catch a terrorist off guard. That was like the hallmark VP play. So TSM clearly prepared for that kind of aggression coming out of VP, and they just shut them down in a round that mattered.
Yeah, and that is definitely...
Like Carrigan just going for the MAC-10 right now. They got a bit of a mix buy going into it. VP, however we can see, have just fully gone for the CZs. So they are looking, and they're looking to take advantage of this as well, because Vendetta brought this up during the analysis and during the downtime, you know, how there are so many tight angles that you can use on this site to your advantage if you're CT with that CZ up close. And look at the positioning that's already been taken up here, you know, in connector with a bit of a cheeky boost coming out. Look at that, Snacks. Oh, that is dirty. So nasty. You have no idea that he's going to be up there. You're going to come around this corner, you're going to get your face taken off.
Why would you ever check there either? This is going to be such a simple pickup for him. Spins around, does manage to get the kill, but the damage was done. However, Neo was taken down on stairs, and he was the backup man. He was there for the revenge, for the surprise, but themselves just a 1 kill. That honestly that had to go better for them. This has suddenly slipped away. But byali does manage to get himself an AK. Backs away, 100% health still on him, but no armor, and that's why dupreeh just rips through him, and Taz is left alone. Will try and cover the bomb plant, the bomb pickup, sorry, from dupreeh, but not going to happen. So, 6-3, that's kind of what we expected after the whole pause. That's where we were leading to, the fact that it was going to be a 6-3. They're saying mouse problems.
Don't look at it, don't look at it.
Don't look at it, don't look at it. They've gone for the pause.
I'm a little bit surprised at why Pasha, I'm wondering right now why Pasha decided to push out from restroom there. If he could have potentially held that angle close with the backup from byali, so he knows that he doesn't have to worry about his back. He could have potentially got another kill out of that situation. So Pasha kind of jumping the gun and maybe throwing away a round where VP could have done a bit more damage to TSM, or if not, like just like flat out win the round. byali, you already touched on that. You know, the fact that he didn't have any Kevlar, great situation for him because he dropped the pack at his feet. So he gets that AK. He knows that TSM now have to come to him. It's a shame. If Pasha had been in that position right there, maybe we actually see, you know, some kind of situation that VP can actually benefit from. So TSM pick up their 6th round, but again, mouse problems. And yeah, this is, let's see. Okay, it looks like maybe we got it going, or at least Neo is, you know, preemptively unpausing. He's just like, okay, enough time wasted here, guys, but we're waiting on TSM still.
It did say 1 minute max, so it's all good. But let's look at what we can see already on our screen there. Orb coming out for Pasha now. The rifle's back in the hands of Virtus.pro. And Cadian also with the AWP. So it's Cadian that's going to get the first chance with the AWP. Yeah, and it's going to be an interesting battle. Does he decide to take it long? Because like Pasha, I would think, wants to take it long. Although, no, they're going to go for the aggressive mid-push. So this is looking to see if they can't catch somebody coming out of the T-tunnels early on here for VP. They want to get in their face. And look at this, like the bravery that comes out from VP. They know that this is a crucial round. What do? They don't play scared. They don't sit back on the sides. No, they go and try and mess TSM up. They try to apply the pressure. It work out for them. Cadian, meanwhile, he's sneaking through tunnels. There's absolutely no one there. Taz has got himself in and around the corner, but TSM are sneaking into the B site completely unhindered right now. They do take Taz down. Taz down was the only man there, and now they're completely locked out of their own site. Yeah, and Cadian's in the perfect position now to hold Sniper. It's Neo lurking in sewers. He's going to pick up Kerrigan, though. That's a good kill, but that bomb has already been planted. TSM, this should be an unlosable situation for them. They literally have to run out and gift the kills to VP. Cadian holds that angle and wins versus Pasha, and there you go. Neo's now the last man alive here, and they're already onto him. Cadian goes for the flick, misses it, though, so a bit of an opportunity there, but it's still just Neo looking to see if he can actually get some kills on the board. I'm surprised. Okay, there we go. We actually see somebody going back there for TSM to make sure that they can pick up that AWP again, that it's not going to get lost at the end of the round. Going to challenge him at both angles. That is going to be Zipnik's getting flashed out. He should be safe there. Yep. Now they're going to push out. dupreeh comes around, just gets caught out by Neo. They are going to try and push him from every angle. Neo almost got away with catching the 3 of them out there on the exits. But 7-3 is the score for TSM. Virtus.pro went aggressive. And again, it didn't work out for them. Man, and look at the state of the scoreboard for VP right now. These guys need to wake up. They need to get their heads in the game. You have Snacks, who's basically single-handedly, you know, keeping VP in this match, just barely. But the rest of the team, they're all on single digits, and they're on the CT side of Overpass. You know, the change is made. You know, they kind of favored T. They allow you to get some more rounds, but not this many. And they haven't even gone up to the A site, TSM. They just continue to just maul the defense on the B site. And that's another quick, easy round. There's no doubt about it. Pasha, the only man standing. They chose to try and stack it out. They chose the right position, but simply put, pistols versus rifles. And it was an easy round once again for TSM. So, Pasha doesn't look like he's even going to pick up a rifle from this one. He's not going to get any exits. Nobody's going his way. And this is going to be an 8-3 start for TSM. TSM, by the way, starting without device. They have Cadian here. If you've just joined us, we have had a long pause in this one. This is the first map of the day here on the A stream. There's best of 3, remember, which is why you see those double dots just below the score. But this is very much a fantastic start for TSM. That basically everybody, all the analysts, said this is going to be an easy 2-0 for Virtus.pro. This should be an easy 2-0 by all rights. This should be an easy 2-0 for VP. What we're going to find out now is whether VP decide to make the change, because TSM are doing what teams should do on the T side. When something is working, just keep doing it. Force the other team to adjust and to make them be the ones to have to stop you from doing that play. So the fact that TSM continue to go to B site, they continue to find openings there. VP need to make changes, and we see that now. There's actually 3 guys on that B site. There we go. That's the answer here from VP. They're like, if you want to come B, we're just going to set up. We're going to post up, and you're not going to get in. Well, we'll see if it works out for them. They went for that double up, Neo and Pasha. Taz has been aggressive just around that corner, and it hasn't been working out for him, which is why He's adjusted his position. Carrigan, meanwhile, continues to prod and pray.
And he
flashes out.
Does he not know that his mate is in there?
Yeah, flashes out Cajun B coming up. Connector. There's Neo opening things up. Maybe that's the boost that Virtus.pro need. Their first frag of the round. Doesn't matter. Snacks has been taken down. Carrigan has worked his way through restrooms, and immediately the A site is open up. They work, then defend, they 3-stack B, and A site is the next target for TSM. They seem to be ahead of Virtus.pro every step of this game.
Yeah, they are just getting the picks when it matters. Pasha just poor timing there. He's worried about restroom, worried about Carrigan pushing into long. Guess what? Cadian peaks right as he starts to focus on that one position. So bad luck, bad timing there for Pasha. And just like that, 3 big kills for VP, or rather for TSM, just completely shatters the VP defense. The only problem here is that VP can't really afford to back off. They can't afford to give any more rounds up. So they have to see if they can do something here. Bialy stepping, however, he's going to get caught out, but he does manage to turn around in time to save his life. Taz with a double kill, and there you go. The situation completely changes in the blink of an eye.
Well, a 4-man push onto the A site should not get shut down so easily by those 2 rifles working their way upstairs. Cadian, the last man standing, he gets taken out, and Virtus.pro, just like that, pick up what was an easy retake. That should not have been. TSM maybe a little overconfident in that one.
Agreed. 2v4, like that's one of those scenarios where TSM should never lose it. Just never flat out. You should never be able to lose a situation like that. But somehow Taz coming through, and we were talking about Taz, he was also having such a strong performance last week at Copenhagen Games. Here we go. If he is capable of, getting control and leading his team by example, just saying, I'm going to take control, guys. This is it. Follow my lead. I'm going to start getting the frags. I'm going to start, shutting down these bomb sites. This could change, but look at Snacks with the MP9 right now. That's a really wonky position. He's basically the bodyguard here for Pasha.
And this is the alternative. You could still technically call this a full buy, but Cadian takes down Pasha in that AWP battle.
He knows one more is long. He knows one more is long as well. So this is a lot of information given to TSM. We have to see what they do with it.
It's Snacks that may well try and push on round. He's completely smoked off right now, but he's still lurking, trying to get around the backside of Debris. He was working his way through. Snacks repositions. They know they've got many members. Neo covering off that B site. The bomb is still in play over towards B. Could easily work across towards Connector, and you can see TSM stacking out at that junction. It is going to be the B side push, and Neo, while he's about to get very busy over at Toxic.
This has actually slowed it down enough so that now the defense is going to be weakened on this site, although Bialy, there you go. That's what he's capable of. 2 big kills there. Going to take out Cajun as well, who did manage to take out his teammate Neo, but the important thing is that Bialy's now got control of the pack, and Dupree is just all by his lonesome, getting closed in on from 3 different angles.
Taz did adjust his position, got one down before being taken out. Snacks comes in to clean up, and Virtus.pro, after honestly what was a wonky retake in the previous round, suddenly find themselves just 3 rounds difference, and what could have been a 10-3, I think, is now a 5-8.
And I'm going to fault TSM on that round, actually. Getting that much information, getting the pick on Pasha, and knowing somebody else is at long, I'm surprised that they decided to just wait. They sat and waited. And yes, okay, this is going to maybe put a little doubt into VP's mind and maybe weaken the setup due to rotations, but they really could have just chosen that moment. Okay, we have so much information out, let's just push and hit them hard before they can reset. So TSM kind of giving it up a little bit there, but they still have money to buy, and that's the important thing here.
Yeah, interesting to see Pasha once again going straight for that challenge with Cadian. Neither actually landing the shot this time. They both went for the exact same position where Cadian's come out twice already ahead. This time Neo will open things up. Dupree going down. Bomb just working its way around in Connector at the moment. It looks like it's going to be a bit of an adjustment here as 2 members pry their way in towards A site. Snacks is going to find one. It was Cajun B. There is another in restrooms just about to peek around. It is Carrigan as he works his way up. That flash landed point blank, and this should be a pickup for Snacks. However, Carrigan manages to come out on top somewhat surprisingly. And Pasha will just hold this one up. Bomb now completely rotated. It's gone through Connector. A site is with the target.
And Pasha playing this position so well. He's already shown that he's quite capable here of holding off these angles. He's got the smoke to block off long. Now he just needs to focus on shutting down mid. Spots out the man, but misses the shot. And this is now going to be TSM just trying to push as quickly as possible to get up onto this site, but Pasha just is not connecting. It's Taz instead who steps in to get the 1 kill, but he's going to get overwhelmed. Just a trade frag, a series of trade frags going through.
2-on-1, Cadian in trouble. He's going to try and get the bomb plant down. Neo pushing through the smoke, not quite going to get there in time. Does manage to get the plant down. Neo picks up the kill. That's going to be a quick and easy defuse. And now 6-8 is the score for Virtus.pro. TSM were going to be absolutely kicking themselves for that 4-on-2 situation because they could have been done and dusted on this map by now. But as it is, Virtus.pro, they are back in the game.
Yeah, they are getting back into this. If they can end this 8-7, it's anybody's game going into the second half because VP could just, build off of Snack's momentum. We also start to see, Neo stepping up with a good 3 kills in that last round with the AWP. I mean, this is VP just getting that confidence back. TSM need to do everything they can now to just shut them down hard in this round. Get that 9-6 finish.
Again, Pasha goes for the challenge, but they're not aiming for it this time. Cadian has pushed around. Carrigan's going to go point blank. Pasha will get him down, but not before the damage is done by Dupree. The Snacks and Pasha, that's going to be the A site completely open. The rotation coming out from Virtus.pro, but TSM pushing fast and hard this time around. KGB leading the charge. Taz already in position. Smoke goes down. We'll get the peek across there. KGB just gets a glimmer of his head, but doesn't manage to land it. But TSM fully in position. This time they have to make this round count.
Yeah, and Bialy in position in bank as well. He's going to spot out in mid. Somehow gets out of there without taking any damage. Thought that he got tagged there for a second. But that crossfire is now established, although there is a smoke to block it off, and Bialy has to be a little bit careful here about how he approaches this. Taz also going to be stuck on this site between a Molotov and a smoke. He's right on the edge, and there you go. Bialy, having changed up his position into CT, gets that headshot onto Cadian, brings it back to a 3-on-3.
Just about hanging in there, Taz, but he will get taken out by Zipnix. Bialy comes around the side. Cajun P gets himself another. And now Neo, the last man standing. There's no reason to go for the save. It's the last round of the half. He's going to try and pick up himself an M4. Go for the reload. They know exactly where he is. They've mollied him off. That's going to delay the bomb ticking. And this time TSM are going to hold position. No reason to back out of this one. Cajun B just to the left. Dupree around there as well. They are nobody showing for Neo. He just wants one to peek, one to give him an angle, one to give him an inroad. And now TSM, hold on. 9-6 was the score, but they got to be kicking themselves. It could have been a much better half for them. 9-6 still is a very good lead on the T side. It's really solid. I mean, still, we have to give them credit for that. This is still a CT-sided map. Even if we can expect T's to get more rounds now since the sites have been changed a little bit, this is still a big mistake here, or at least, underperformance from Virtus.pro to start things off here on the first map. Not able to come back into it with the high, after that pause, not really able to get control back either. TSM, 9 rounds is a lot to work with going into the pistol. But this is still, TSM we're talking about. Are they going to be able to close it? Because you could tell that losing that 4-on-2 kind of rocked them. They gave up a few more rounds to VP. So it's a team that's still very weak on the mental side, on the mental game. Now they just need to be able to have the confidence. They need to get this pistol round so that they can start off strong and close this map out. And more importantly, it was the clear adjustments from Virtus.pro as well. They changed positions. They'd been very static, and it wasn't working. Taz was getting picked off at the start of every round. This time, though, it is Virtus.pro's chance to work their way through. Good flash. Has Maywell going to catch them all out? They will peek, but Taz just about in time flicks around and gets Zipnix down. Catching out, I think it was Cadian that was coming through connector as well. Dupree trying to get the shots off, but through the smoke, through the door. Neo takes him down. And now it's a 4-on-2. And TSM looking to lose this round. It seems that Virtus.pro will get the bomb plant in. And now it's just down to Cadian and Cajun B to try and retake. Yeah,
they're in a terrible position right now. You can see they're going to try and come at it from 2 different angles. But Cajun now has to worry about all of these different spots, these different positions that VP can now be holding on, because VP have had all the time in the world to set up good after plants. And it seems like they figured out where Cadian is as well. Neo's going to be able to catch him out. And it's down to Cajun. Last man alive here. Gets the first shot. Going to get the second as well. And he doesn't have a kit, however. He's only got Kevlar, so he just doesn't have any time to mess around with here. VP, they're just going to keep drawing it out. And again, Neo stepping up. Another triple kill for him in such an important round for VP.
Very big pistol round for Virtus.pro. And that's going to give them the confidence boost that they required after a good, I would say, a good second half of the first half. After the pause, it certainly got themselves right back into it, that's for sure. And this could well find themselves at 9-9. We do see an AK picked up by Neo, of course, did get the triple, so why not? But MAC-10s and P9s also coming out from the rest of Virtus.pro, along with that Galil for Taz. So Taz sticking with the Galil despite the SMG changes. And it is just the scout for Carrigan. Who's going to back him up? Who's going for that cleanup? Let's see if Carrigan is. Doesn't matter. Pasha just guns down Cajun B anyway.
Yeah, a little bit sloppy from Pasha. He took a bit of damage there, and Neo actually gets tagged down there by Carrigan. Carrigan doing the damage. This is so important. Snacks down to 10 HP. He tags another one. Now these pistols are going to be so powerful. Already 2 kills. 3 kills go TSM's way, and it's Taz and Pasha. They're just going to get cleaned up. they have no more HP. That scout was so important.
And that's exactly what I was looking for. I was like, where's the man with the pistol to back up that scout? And there it is. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Pasha now with it all to do. He's down to a one-on-one. He's going to grenade out. That should land on Xyp9x. Doesn't matter. Pokes around the side, gets Pasha down, and just like that, TSM come back and pick themselves up an eco.
Yeah, fantastic return. What a play by Kerrigan, being able to hold off short and main tunnel like that. And then Dupree and Xyp9x, this is just magnificent work coming in here from TSM to turn things around. VP are going to be kicking themselves. Neo, all of a sudden, I went for an AK, I spent the money, and the rest of his team as well. They're all so low right now.
That was actually, just saying eco, that was a head armor investment from TSM in the second round with the pistol. So they definitely went for that one.
So Devil Walk
paid off.
Yeah. Forced to eat his words here. Is that what's happening? TSM, they heard? They were listening during the break?
Maybe. We'll see if it works out for the Virtus.pro are coming in force. But TSM very much in the position to deal with this one. Xyp9x is going to back around. They already know where they're coming from. That flash may well be right on point. It's going to go tunnels. They're going to catch a glimpse of one. It was a hit and run. The smoke will cover them off, and that's going to delay things for the rotate. There's now 3 members move to cover off the side. Xyp9x just waiting for anyone. And this is going to be a risky play. They are going to be pushing through smoke if they're going to go for it.
Taz heard the third man as well. Taz, he's just been listening that entire time, and they're going to go running right through. Look at this, taking advantage of the smokes. Bialy almost as an afterthought drops down Dupree, and they're looking for the rotators, but Cajun B holds strong, Xyp9x as well, and what was a good play, a well thought out play there by Virtus.pro just gets completely shut down.
Taz trying to be the man that comes through with the Tech 9. Didn't work out. Good cleanup for TSM. Like you say, good use of the smoke. Absolutely, over smoking it. They think, okay, let's just adjust and run straight through. But Cajun B, right place, right time, whether it was planned or not. 11-7, TSM, after having a 9-6 first half, getting themselves back into it, especially after losing that pistol round.
Yeah, Dupree, he actually goes for it. He knows that he might be able to make some eco money here. The MP9 as well. TSM have shown that they're willing to go for the MP9. But let's see, yeah, exactly. Now is his time to shine. And look at the damage. He just mows them up, chews them up, and there you go. 1 kill coming in for Pasha. He's still at 2 kills for Pasha. So that's actually a great turnaround there by Pasha. 2 headshots with the Tech 9 up close. So he just single-handedly actually saves that round for VP. Makes it a pretty decent eco.
And actually gets himself the AWP for the next round. More importantly, let's see how he makes use of it, because he's just invested. You can see he's at 0, bought absolutely everything in there. We do also see, I think it's the AWP picked up by Cajun B this time on the defense. So KDN, of course, took it on the T side. It's going to be Cajun B on the CT.
Yeah, look at this boost. There's a boost going on at long as well for A. So they're kind of all over the place right now, TSM. Yeah, you can see it there. Cajun, he's got a dominating position here, just boosted up behind this truck. So it's a great position. Only problem is nobody's there for VP. He's getting a lot of information. That much is certain, because he's able to spot and really, hold these long lines, and he's not seeing anybody there. I think this is going to give it away, though. Bialy not going to hit that headshot, and now he's roasting to death. Bialy just completely burns to death without even realizing it. Full flashed.
Well, when you're so focused on trying to get that headshot, you got to realize you need to back out of that situation. And now TSM. They're going to check it. Is Kerrigan going to try and sneak through this smoke? If he does, he's going to have to be checking his strides, because he's going to be walking face-to-face with Snacks. There's Taz. Smoking and flashing out there. He does spot someone at sandbags. Knows that they're around there. He's going to have to back out. Good work from him. Information gathered and gets out with full health. And TSM know what they're up against, but Snacks is already through on site. The rest of Virtus.pro are plowing through here. And TSM are just dropping like flies.
Yeah, great shot there by Pasha to take out Cajun B, who is currently scoped up. Cadian rotating in. He gets the money nade. Talk about the Kobe shot there. Down to 5 HP, Pasha. And Snacks equally low, down to half. And Cadian is just waiting to see if anybody's going to be peeking out here. Virtus.pro playing this very well, and there you go. Snacks lying in wait below, takes out Cadian, and that was also just such a nice round there by VP with the use of smokes. You saw that setup. I'm so glad we caught that on the stream as well, to see how Taz was setting that up with that smoke that's basically going to smoke through the wall and make it more difficult to hold from CT. So if you have an ultra passive hold coming in from TSM, that smoke would abuse that. Really well thought out play there by VP. I love it.
Yeah, and it was interesting to see, obviously, Kerrigan at them sandbags. He could have been the stopper for the whole thing.
Yeah.
If he'd have landed that first shot. We saw Bialy, of course, roasting as well at the start. So the tunnels was completely blocked. So only one way in, and it worked out for Virtus.pro. Now 12-8, still 4 rounds behind. TSM, certainly no reason to panic just yet. They don't have an AWP this time around. That's in the hands of Pasha. As Dupree finds himself one, he's going to go for the revenge and try and chase up on Snacks around that corner. Not going to follow through. Pasha landing Cadian mid-air there. Dupree also goes down. That's the tunnels battle that we saw between him and Snacks. Well, Virtus.pro, they're just opening up sites right now.
They're getting a series of 1v1 duels, and that's exactly what VP want in this scenario. Every frag going VP's way is worth so much to them, because now you can see TSM, they're spread out across the map. The site defense is weaker unless KGB can just hit the proper timing here, and he's not going to do it. Pasha just crouches, pulls that trigger, and manages to take him out. Now into a 2-on-4. This is an incredibly difficult position right now for the Danes. 35 seconds left, though, so this actually may force VP's hand a little bit. They may be a little pressured for time, so this could actually give an opportunity for some players here on TSM. And the rotation is already coming through to this A site.
This could force TSM into an eco as well, should they lose this round. Zipnix, he's caught out, he's caught in position. He's actually pinned at the moment, but he's in a good position if he can try and sneak around, which is what he's doing. Trying to get around the back of that smoke, making use of the smoke that Virtus.pro put down against them. But Pasha, once again, it's another triple for Pasha in that round. He's starting to step up, and this is what we talked about. You know, when we were looking at the scores, Snacks was way ahead. Everybody else needed to step up. That's exactly what's happened. Yeah,
look at that, Snacks. I mean, when we said that he was at 14 frags, he's only got 5 more. You know, whereas the rest of the team, who are all down in low single digits, 14, 14, 12, everybody's waking up on VP's side, and that's when they become dangerous. Well, any team, right? That's a bit general to say, but you know, this is VP now starting to come back into it, whereas TSM, now they're going to be on an eco round. It's just going to be a real struggle to get their heads back into this game.
Well, it's going to be an aggressive eco. Carrigan trying to see if he can get in those cheeky headshots. Doesn't matter, Neo cuts him down, and they're already in on site. It's going to be a quick and easy round for Virtus.pro. They're just going on cleanup duty right now. Cadian, last man standing, he's over on the A site, and he's just going to get locked out of this one. Bomb plant coming in. Can he try and get the planter? Can he try and get behind Bialy? That's what he's going to try and do. Gets a couple of tags off, jumps down into pitch, straight in towards Pasha. Pasha cleans up, gets himself another double. And now at 12-10, just think of what could have been TSM. If, you know, thinking back once again, they could be 2-3 rounds up on this one. They could be looking at match point, certainly map point. But instead, as it is, Virtus.pro, they are easing their way back into this game.
Yeah, they're slowly closing the gap. I mean, we will give you know, a decent eco there to TSM because they got 2 kills, so they're still having an impact on the VP economy. But VP, you know, that's not what's important right now for them. It's just like, we got another round, We're just keeping the pressure up. There's the deep flash going into long, but it isn't really going to do too much here. It seems like it's going to be a passive hold coming in from Dupree, who is currently set up around the corner. And he's being supported by Cadian. No op on Cadian this time, however. It's Kerrigan who has the op, and he's using it to hold it in a bit of a happy position over on B.
It's going to be Dupree that gets very busy in a moment. There's 3 members of Virtus.pro peek around that corner. That's going to go past him, actually. He might try and catch Pasha out by surprise. Doesn't land the opening shot. Bialy is there for the revenge. And Cadian picked off through the smoke there, it looked like. Fantastic stuff. That's the A site open up. Cajun B will to get 1. He could easily get 2 as well, but he's going to have to back into the smoke. Neo covers him off. And now Carrigan all alone with that orb. And it's surely another round for Virtus.pro.
Yeah, run away, Kerrigan. Run as fast as your legs can carry you. Do not even show yourself on the other side of the map. Snacks is already out and hunting. This is what VP should be doing right now. They have to know that Kerrigan is backed off trying to hold on to that AWP. VP should still have enough money to be able to afford to drop a couple of rifles hunting down Kerrigan. So I would like to see a bit more aggression. And now we finally see Neo start to move out to check the B site. Snacks is in connector. They're closing in slowly but surely. But they really do need to get this AWP off of Kerrigan. That would be a big win for VP right now.
Yeah, it could be just one difference. It is going to be Pasha that's likely to find him, but if he's scoping around that corner, he's not. He's listening. Listening out for the footsteps, hoping that somebody comes his way. He goes for the no-scope, and Snacks is the man that runs into it. So he manages to keep hold of it. Let's see what difference that could make for him, because an AWP in the right position could be vital. But as it is, it's been Virtus.pro that have been very much opening up with the frags, and it's going to be very tricky for TSM once again.
And again, VP now have an opportunity to just get some money, to continue to build the bank. And there's the adjustment, actually. Kerrigan, VP could be assuming that AWP is going to be over on B site, judging by, you know, that's where Kerrigan usually plays. But instead, they're trying to change it up, and that's exactly what works. Kerrigan peeks out. Taz definitely not expecting to have that AWP, you know, facing him in connector like that.
It does mean that Virtus.pro realize that B site is probably a little light on members. So they're going to work their way through there. They're going a little slow about it, though. They do manage to get a glimpse on Zipnix there. The rest of TSM are rotating already. He's going to get called out with that molly. Forced away. Pasha Does actually burn down Xyp9x, no escape for him. Oh, he knows he's got the shot on Karrigan. Karrigan with that AWP. He's going to try and make this shot. Counts, and he does. Pasha goes down. How big could this be? As he gets himself a second, tries to spin around, tries to go for the third. cajunb comes in, and now Snax is the last man standing. TSM should go big in this round after managing to hold on. He's going for the defuse. Oh, the molly. That's going to be right on point. They're going to try and charge him down. Have they got the time?
Oh,
he should clear out. He should go. It doesn't matter. He's just going to run straight in, dupreeh. They have the time. They get themselves 2 AWPs. And again, we talked about it last round. You've got to hunt down that AWP. And look at it. 3 kills for Karrigan. He made that AWP absolutely count.
Yeah, and now they get a free AWP as well. They're going to be able to hold on to that. Snax doing the best that he could here. I mean, he gave away his position early, but really he was just doing the, like, he had to try and, you know, inflict some kind of damage. And with the Molotov as well, I mean, smart play from Snax, but really nothing he could do. And that's 1v3 like that. There's no way he's coming back into it. But what's even more astounding is just, you know, VP losing to an eco round like that. Granted, there's an AWP, but they should never be able to get caught out in that kind of position. So TSM, that's it. That's that kind of play that's going to give them the confidence back. And I'm going to be watching dupreeh as well, because we've seen, you know, several opportunities now for dupreeh to get some easy frags, and he hasn't been able to step up. Maybe a win like that is going to make the difference for him mentally.
And if anything, they were pretty slow moving into B, despite the fact, I mean, they have to realize that A was stacked. But then again, you never know. It's against Pistols. You know, they came in the right momentum, but could they have been quicker? Who knows? That's for the analysts to decide. That's certainly not our job. Neo, that grenade not going to quite be on point. Cadian does get himself an opener. Neo, though, just on 4 health as Taz works his way through the restrooms. Now the rest of TSM getting that defensive position. Cadian not going to land the flick. cajunb, though, is there in support. Already, Virtus.pro in all sorts of trouble. Xyp9x is going to get caught out with that molly, but again, Cadian continues to just boom away with that AWP. Got himself 3 already. Could he make it 4? Neo's instead. Looks like he's going to try to back away from this one and just keep hold of that AWP.
Yeah, what a great round for Cadian in particular. I mean, last round, Karrigan, this round, Cadian. That's also the power of TSM. And it's actually awesome to see that Cadian is able to slot in, because that's always been a strength of theirs, that they've had 3 guys that can actually AWP. Cajun, Karrigan, and Device, you know, even though Device isn't here, you know, he's sick. But now Cadian steps in, and just every round you have somebody who's a threat with that sniper rifle. And that's giving TSM, you know, these rounds that just matter so much. And right now I'm trying to look, but okay, there we go. The money right now for VP is just really low, actually. They're going to have to go for a force buy. They can't possibly just aim for the overtime in this scenario.
Yeah, it's a risky play. There's going to be the 14th round for TSM. Team SoloMid picking up possibly the first map here against Virtus.pro, who pretty much everyone, including ourselves. I mean, literally everyone looking at this, they see Device out, they go, okay, well, okay, Virtus.pro easy 2-0. You know, Virtus.pro did just beat them in the Copenhagen games, winner bracket and finals.
And this is when they decide to change things up. This is when they decide to go for the cheeky boosts. So TSM have held out until it mattered. Last round they had one of the boosts in mid. Now they're going to have that boost that helps them to hold mid from a different position like this. They could walk right into this, and VP may never know what hit them.
They're going to catch out as they come around the corner. They're going to spin into restrooms. Taz is about to be the first man that shows. Doesn't get taken down, actually. And now cajunb may have to adjust his position. Tries to catch a Neo. Does have to back away, so it didn't work out for them. But it doesn't matter, because Cadian is still there with that AWP. Booming away. Piali pushes through. They managed to take the site, and this should not be happening. TSM should not be losing that site so quickly. But it doesn't matter. dupreeh is around the back. Does get one. But now he needs to wait for the support. They're actually going to back away. They're going to go for the save. So Virtus.pro, a good fast attack this time on towards the A site. Caught TSM off guard, it seems.
That bomb has not been planted yet. They're still looking for the battle here. That smoke is there. dupreeh going to flash his way through. He's going to catch somebody off guard. Needs to land the spray and misses it. Pasha just barely makes it around the corner in time. 30 seconds left. Does he have the HE?
Karrigan knows. Oh, he sees him. Just catches a glimpse of his backside, and that's all he needs. As Pasha goes down, bomb finally planted. Taz covering up the angle that dupreeh will find, but he's been dropped. And now Snax is all alone. Karrigan on the bomb. He knows exactly where it is. Just needs to line those shots up. Had to land surely a little cleaner than that, but dupreeh has to go for the defuse, and Snax knows he's got time. Knows he's got time to delay this one. He's sticking it. He's trying to go for it. Wow! Snax pulls it off, but TSM so close to taking it to map point there. The retake. And that was a gamble from Virtus.pro, because they could have planted that bomb a lot sooner, but they chose to go for the battle. They chose to let TSM come at them. And it almost backfired.
Yeah, it came so very close. And off of the back of Dupree, big plays there to come through the smoke and deny that bomb plant initially. And then TSM realizing that they had the time, they changed up their positions. So VP expecting them to come from one angle, TSM changed it up. They get the advantage, but then it's just a series of exchanges essentially where VP, TSM, it's whole slugfest. And look at this, the very quick take on Snacks on short. He gets a 1-for-1 trade, and then Sipnix is already in position to hold this line versus Taz.
Gets his smoke down, just about survives there. Cajun's trying to sneak around the back, and well, Neil wasn't expecting that. The aggression coming out from TSM this time around. As Zipnix gets himself a double, Pasha, the last man standing, works his way in, but he's in a 1v3 situation already. And this is nigh on impossible as 3 members of TSM look to lock down that bomb site. Bomb in the hands of Pasha, though. He's going to try and sneak his way around. There's one in pit. And that's one man he's going to try and find here. Comes around. Wasn't ready for Cajun B. And Cajun B gets himself a couple of kills there. And now it's map point for TSM. This is a best of 3, remember. So this is not done and dusted. The other maps are Cash and Mirage, I believe, being the third final decider. If we were to get to it, we were not counting on that one. But it seems that TSM certainly have other plans. Let's see how Virtus.pro react.
Now to find out, and with less gear this time as well, because they won a round, they spent all their money, they lost the following one, so they just had no money to work with this round. So you can see that, the impact that it has on their gear. Dupree just goes for the fight straight up, takes it. Cajun B, however, in danger of getting overrun, but he gets 2 headshots, a third, and there you have it. Cajun B single-handedly holding down the restroom, says, wait a minute, I'm not done yet. And there we have it, 16-12, the final score for this first map. But what an entertaining match to start things off.
Yeah, Cajun B just like, you know what, this M4, it's too strong for me. I'm just going to use a P250 instead. And wow, 3 heads. I think all he was expecting was just the one guy to come around the corner, the one guy that he'd already tagged up, but instead lands the headshots. And fantastic stuff. TSM, first map goes to them, was not expecting that. Certainly an overpass. We knew they're good on overpass.